I think he said business, sometimes it's individuals. It's individuals because business community, what we do, we participate through the business member organizations we have, like the association, the Chamber of Commerce, and we use those platforms. But what we would like is the county governments to engage us, include us in the county budget and economic forum, as I said. But let me weigh in on some of the comments made. First and foremost, allow me to congratulate the country in improving in ease of doing business. I agree with Governor Kidero that we are the most improved country in Africa in ease of doing business for 2 years in a row. So we are definitely on the right track. But from your comments, I think if we can harmonize this across all counties, because there are things Nairobi is doing which everyone else might not be doing. So in the next phase, if we ensure that we harmonize it across all counties, it will be good for all of us. Then we need to move beyond the ease of doing business to the cost of doing business. We need to move from the ease of doing business to the cost of doing business, because it might be easy to do business, but still expensive to do it. So that's when we look at the specific taxes and levies. Are they necessary? What service are they delivering? Can we look at options for revenue enhancement beyond taxing people? Can we spur industrialization so that in effect we have a very vibrant economy that is contributing to taxes? And last but not least, can we get the informal sector into the tax net? Because if you look at the numbers in manufacturing, for example, there are only about 300,000 employees in the formal sector and 2.4 million employees in the informal sector. So it's very evident that the informal sector is quite vibrant, but can we move informality into formality so that people pay taxes and participate in business? The other issue is on public participation. I think the spirit of the Constitution is quite clear that all sovereign power belongs to the people, so involving the people is critical. The Ministry of Devolution issued county public participation guidelines last year. So I think if we look at this, we can get some ideas on how to do public participation. And in the laws that were mentioned by Governor Oparanya, the ones developed jointly with the Commission, CAM, and CRA, a public participation bill is actually one of the bills that has been drafted for all the 47 counties. And if you look at it, it goes nitty-gritty to how the small businesses participate, the mwananchi, because even the mwananchi who's not a businessman should be involved in governance. So we could look at the guidelines from the Ministry of Devolution and the laws that we drafted. On funding of devolution, it's important that the counties get more funding, because it's true that some of the funding they're getting currently might not be able to address and meet all the needs at the county level. Lastly, on waste management, because that came up, there's need to come up with better policies for waste management, where we are able that are manufactured, but this excess does not make its way into waste management. So maybe we need to look at that and see how we can have a fund for waste management that the county governments can utilize on the same. And then lastly, I'll mention the need for us to spur industrialization and value addition at the counties. We're an agricultural economy and we can't be exporting raw materials from our country. We need to figure out how within each county we can the process of doing that will create the jobs, because someone talked about jobs. How do we create jobs at county level? By having industries at those counties. And that way we can talk about inclusive economic growth. Otherwise, we'll keep talking about growth, but it won't touch the mwananchi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, remember, industrialization, as has been said by the CAM CEO, is the future, and has been said in many fora. And I'm sure even you, as you chair your planning committee at COG, and as you are a governor, you also know that industrialization is a savior for this economy. Let's start from that. What have you done? What can you do? What needs to be done?
Yeah, industrialization, obviously, even if you look at the Vision 2030, if this country has to move to the next level, industrialization is very, very, very important. However, as counties, our problem has been finances to do most of these issues. I don't know if you know that even this budget that has been prepared, if you look at the national budget, is about 2.6 trillion. And most of it is credit. While the county government's budget, which is mostly is cash, 100%, is just about 281, which is 10%. So you can see that 10% of the budget is now devolved to the counties, 47 counties. So the finances that we get is actually not adequate. And I'm happy to have Peter here, the senator. And I think this is the most objective senator that I've come across who has supported devolution. Because some of them, when they came in, they never supported devolution at all. They started fighting devolution. And because of that, we are some steps back because of the Senate. But I hope with many of them coming up, and many of them now want to be governors, I'm sure that next time we shall have senators that will support the governors. But let me also comment on communication. Communication for public participation has been an issue. And this is the first time we are trying it. But most counties have applied for radio station, local radio station. I don't know if there is any county here that has got a license. We have been denied a license. For sure, me, Kakamega, I have applied 100 times. I have not been given a license. For what reason, I don't know. And I'm told that legislation is coming up. It has taken 4 years for legislation to come up. But we need it to communicate in the local language.
As a radio practitioner, I've been in radio for close to 20 years. I'll tell you, just having a radio license and people listen.
The live proceedings there from Naivasha, where the 4th annual Devolution conference is being held right now. It's the inaugural county governments. They're meant to be dissolved in August. That's when the elections is supposed to kick in. It's a 3-day conference. It's being held at the Kenya Wildlife Service Training Institute in Naivasha. That's in Nakuru County. Our very own Bridget Ngane and Nimrod Tambo covering that event live, and you're still staying there. We'll be heading there in just a bit. Now, in 2016, President Kenyatta, his deputy William Ruto, and senators, only 3 of them attended that particular function, and they missed the 3rd Devolution conference in Meru County at a time when there was mutual suspicion between the national and county governments. This time, at least all the 47 governors and the senators are expected there. William Ruto on Thursday closed the conference with opposition leader Raila Odinga expected to speak on the same day. That's last year. But right now, as we speak, the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, is expected to attend that conference that's happening in Naivasha right now. Let's listen into what's happening.
But what is critical, more funds should go to the counties, and you'll see a big difference.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Now, Mwananchi, Esther Nyukabi.
Okay.
You've heard what the governors have said, you've heard what your fellow business persons have said, you've heard what your customers on the ground say. Yes.
There was one thing we did not respond to, the issue of delayed payments from contractors. Let me make this very clear. You see, county governments get funds from the national treasury, and we disperse or we pay these funds to our contractors when we get the funds. Now, for example, today most counties have not gotten funds for January. Most counties are dealing with funds for December, and now we're approaching March. So sometimes we give out contracts, we give out work, expecting to pay when we get money from national government, but the disbursement from national government delays. So we delay in paying contractors because we have not been paid from the national government, and the contractors blame us. And people out there are keen in saying, oh, county government XYZ is not paying the contractors. We are not paying because we have not been paid by the national government. So we ask for indulgence. We expect that the public will understand that we disperse these funds when we get the money.
That's true in some cases. However, I've also had in very many other cases where some counties have not paid for 3 years, or more than 1 year. That's more than 2 months. You see, if that happens, then that whole confidence level drops, and that's why I think even if Murio is from the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry would like to actually contrast that with.
Yeah, I just, yes, 30 seconds. I think I agree with the governor to a certain extent, but to a large extent, I think the county government's priorities sometimes are mixed up. And I think that's why we want to fix that, so that you pay the business community and they in turn can pay your taxes. Because contrary to that, then you're shooting yourselves in the toe. You can't collect the tax if you haven't paid me. That's all we're saying as business community. Thanks.
Asante sana. Good advocacy. And I'm sure you've had the point. Just a response to that in 30 seconds.
I agree with him completely. We will have a situation whereby we pay the business community so that they can pay taxes. But we also want them to understand that we cannot pay when we have the money. If we don't have the money, we can't pay when we don't have the money. It's a question of what comes first, the chicken or the chicken.
Vicious cycle indeed.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's a conversation that can be had further, and every other day we can keep having this until we get a solution, because we must find a solution. Businesses must thrive, counties must conduct business, counties need services offered by businesses. Esther.
Okay, for me, I can say thank you. Devolution has done work. Wamefanya kazi mzuri. No, kuna kazi ambazo kama mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye ajaelewa. Sometimes, Mama Boga, I'm here because of Mama Boga, huyu mwananchi mdogo. Anatoa boga zake Kinangop, anakata tax Kinangop, na akikuja mahali hapa anakata tax ingine. Na akiweka chini anakata tax ingine. I can say this for tomorrow. We have to look way forward. Tutasaidia huyu Mama Boga namna gani? Akitoa boga zake Kinangop, akija hapa askalipe more than ile faida anapata. Kwa nini? Huyu mama, the business ambaye ako nao mahali pale ndio tarajio lake la maisha yake. Public participation, vile tumesema. For me, tungeweza sema we can call all the groups wakati kuna jambo mnataka tupitishe. No, for now, ukiona wakati they are doing, wanalete kitabu ya 8 pages. And you're waiting for me nikae hapo chini, zile 8 pages, nisome na niende niuze sukuma. Nitakula nini jioni? We have to change. Even 2 days or you go to groups. Leo unajua tomorrow there is a market pale katika soko. Go to that market. Waambie, waulize maswali. And then you go and you draft yourself. Vile mnataka kudraft kulingana na vile mwananchi amesema. Don't come there one day 8 pages and you want me to say yes. I cannot say yes. Nitakata. Secondly, there is time. Siwezi tupa wakati wangu mahali pale because I'm a father, I'm the mother. When I sit there, I'm wasting my time and I'm looking for my money. Okay, I want to say this. Okay, I want to say this, my friend here. As business women, ama mwananchi ule mdogo, pale mashinani Wanjiko, tunategemea hii pesa ambayo unataka mimi nilipe tax, iende kwa county. Nikilipa hii pesa iende kwa county, na ngojea pia nanyi mnirudishie back. Wakati unarudisha back, unarudisha kidogo. Haurudishi mingi, unarudisha kidogo. Unastahili kurudisha mingi ili na mimi nifanye biashara kubwa niweze kukulipa tax. I want this for the future. Tukitoa taxes ziende mahali pale, tunafanywa budgeting vile mnafanyanga every year. Hiyo pesa tunaulizwa mwananchi, tumepata katika county ya sub county ya Naivasha. We have this amount. What do you want us to do with it? Si ipatiwe MCA anaenda anafanya mambo yake, na yule mtu akona right ya kufanya na hiyo pesa ni mwananchi. Sasa mwananchi apatiwe nafasi, MCA ndio anapatiwa nafasi. Ningetaka mwananchi mwenyewe apatiwe nafasi ya kufanyia the money budget, sio MCA afanyie budget. Lastly, ningetaka tukisema 2007, last time 2007 tulikuwa katika violence, na ile violence ilifanya watu wengi sana wakaumia, wengine wakachotwa wakakosa mali yao. County government ni nini wamepanga for this 2017 tukiangalia devolution kwa sababu ya amani? What are we doing? Kwa sababu huyu mwananchi kidogo Wanjiko ndio anaogojewa mahali pale, na vita ikitokea kama hapa Naivasha, you know Naivasha very well. Ikitokea unaona maua imefungwa, kazi zimeisha, Mama Boga ile boga yake alikuwa anauza pia naye anafunga. Where am I going to go? Kama mimi mama sukuma nitaenda wapi? I think county government, devolution, they have to do something about the peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Aston Yokabi. I'd like all of you to please applaud my panel this morning. Starting with Chris Okiaka, CEO of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, His Excellency Josh Mangi, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, Esther Nyokabi, who's a business lady in Naivasha Sub-County, His Excellency Wycliffe Oparanya, who is the Governor for Kakamega and the Chair of the Council of Governors Finance and Planning Committee, and Senator Mositet, who was here to represent his colleague Bill Okero, who was to be our speaker this morning. A round of applause, please. Ladies and gentlemen. And as I welcome the conference facilitators back on stage, my name is Eric Latif. Thank you very much. I'd like us to end with this. We agree that devolution is working, right? We are going to declare that devolution is working. And where it's not working, we will make it work. So let's say it with me. Devolution is working. And where it's not working, we will make it work. Asanteni.
Thank you very much, Latif. Let's clap for them again. And again, for those who would like to use Wi-Fi here, check your Wi-Fi. It's Telecom Wireless. And the password is Devolution 2017. In the morning, and before we go to the opening session, I think Mwananchi has summarized the feelings of everyone in the country and how the ordinary Mwananchi feels about the devolution. Mwananchi says it is very difficult to read a document of 80 pages and expect that Mwananchi to concentrate and do other things that they are supposed to do. And I think that's a feeling that resonates with quite a number of people, that we have got to communicate and communicate effectively. We have been told participation is having a challenge, but that challenge participation is experiencing is a challenge of our own indifference. Are people not paying attention to laws and making of laws, and then later on complaining when the laws are being applied? Now we are moving to the next session, ladies and gentlemen, and the session now is the opening session. We skipped a session in the morning because everyone was not around, and we shall begin with a short choir entertainment, a short entertainment. Then we go to welcoming remarks from Nakuru County, remarks by the Senator, Nakuru County, Chairperson of the County Assemblies, and also remarks by His Excellency, the Deputy, the Governor, the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors, in that order. So I'll ask the choir to come and give us a short entertainment for about just under 1 minute, if not more than 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes maximum.